Everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Tuesday morning. It is March the 4th, and this is Coffee Talk. Rise and shine, my friends. It may be beautiful for now, but we are tracking impact weather for tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon from about, lunchtime-ish into the afternoon. Isolated strong to severe storms expected to move through. Here's a look at the satellite and radar right now. Want to get right to the imagery and just kind of zero in on things. And while we're looking nice and quiet here, notice off to the left, out west, storm system really firing up across Texas and eventually kind of working its way off toward the east, getting into Louisiana. Arkansas into Missouri. So that's going to be a stormy, stormy day for our friends out that way today. And eventually, this all moves toward us. So we're going to get into all the data regarding this. But I do want to start off with the severe threat for today. On the left side, notice places like Mississippi, Louisiana, southern Arkansas, under a level 3 out of 5 risk for numerous strong to severe storms. So that's going to be a feisty burger as it works through. But moving our direction for tomorrow, we're looking at the threat for isolated strong to severe storms in our area with a higher scattered level 2 out of 5 risk north of us. So let's do this then. Let's zero in on our futurecast model, get an idea of what's to come. First off, for the day today, notice clouds, maybe a shower or so along the East Coast, and then into the West Coast later on tonight. But let's fast forward right through to tomorrow morning, 10, 10:30, 11 a.m. Already starting to see those storms knocking on our doorstep, right? 12 o'clock getting closer to I-75, getting into the turnpike. There's Palm Coast getting those storms. 1 p.m. marching through the metro. 2 o'clock marching through the metro off to the east. And then 3, 4 o'clock kind of working on off to the east. So again, when we time this all out, Central Florida talking about storms, kind of thinking late morning north and west of town, metro right around lunchtime into the early afternoon, and then our Space Coast communities 2 to about 4 o'clock or so. And our area under that level 1 out of 5 risk for isolated strong to severe storms, though to our north, level 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms. Okay? So that's kind of a quick idea on tomorrow's stormy weather. Let's look at the 7-day forecast together here and just kind of get through. And we're going to talk about today, certainly. We're adding those clouds, 20% chance of a few of those passing showers, and a little bit warmer today, about 76 degrees our high temperature. But notice for tomorrow, warm temperatures out ahead of those storms, 70% coverage of rain, it's impact weather, okay? Why are you hyping? I never understand when people think we're hyping. We're just trying to let you know weather's going to impact you. The way I look at it, that's pretty nice. It's a nice kind of research-based thing that we've done. Afterward, Thursday, Friday, Saturday looking fantastic. Thursday's going to be a coolish day. High temperatures in the 60s there. We'll wake up to a cool Friday, then start to warm up again into Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday, we get that next opportunity for storms to be moving in. And we'll have to dial in to see if we're talking about anything too strong. Now, let's do this. Let's take a look at, give me a second, I'm just going to run this through the SIPS data for tomorrow. All right. Give it a second. Interact. Doing this on the fly. All right. So the SIPS data is not really overly concerning for tomorrow, which is the good news. You kind of see the southern part of the peninsula there. If we click that, we kind of get an idea. You could see for a time here. I need to, there we go. So that's kind of the different guidance points, okay, on the severe threats using SIPS modeling. So you can see kind of top left didn't really include us on day 8, day 7, day 6. So that threat kind of moved in. It looks, it's kind of trying to blend it down a little bit, but either way, we're going to be watching. Now, one thing that is always great, and we've done this many times before, we're going to do this again now that we're starting to get into I'll do from the 12Z to the 11Z, 18. Yeah, it's too far out for that. Come back to allowing. 12Z is running. Let's see. We'll run the NAM. Tuesday 6Z. All right. We'll do this. Bear with me a few seconds. I just want to do some severe weather analysis. All right. Interact. We'll do that. We'll do MCO. KMCO. All right. All right, let's get some sounding data. Now, for those of you that are new to Coffee Talk when we track severe weather parameters, this is a way to kind of look at the atmosphere, get an idea of where things are trending, right? So this is going to be tomorrow morning. This is valid Wednesday morning at 6Z, so that's in the morning. We're just going to roll through the day. 9Z, 12Z. So there's definitely, you've got some drier air aloft. So that's always something to look at. The winds are not crazy strong upstairs, so that's something to pay attention to. But you see, it's not a goalpost, but you've got a nice moist column. So you've got your clouds, and then above it, you've got yourself a nice little inversion. You've got a ribbon of drier air, winds subtly turning with height. It's not a home run, but there's definitely the setup to see something stormy-ish. And then there you go. There's your opportunity there, right? Isn't that funny? So we look at shear levels, definitely picking up the winds with height. So about a kilometer or so up, definitely you've got your saturate. So you've got a nice stable layer at the surface, kind of where the greens and the reds. All right. So if you're unfamiliar with this is basically a sounding model plot. So let's just do this. We'll zoom in here together. And what we're looking at here, okay, is think of this as a computer model plot of a weather balloon. Okay. So 67 is the dew point temperature at the surface. 77 would be the air temperature at the surface. This is 18Z. So this is going to be kind of late morning, early afternoon. So this is the environment that these storms are moving into here, okay? With that said, what you're looking at is you've got some dry air at the surface. So about, we'll say 950, 975 millibars. So just above, you've got the saturation layer. So that's going to be where the clouds form, right? And you can see the green is the dew point, red is the temperature. So those are together, and then you can kind of see where they split off. So that's going to be a temperature inversion there. That's going to be where the drier air kicks in and the air temperature doesn't cool. It actually starts to warm a little bit and then cool. And when you kind of see that, that's an indicator you've got a cap, and if the cap can burst, if these storms can plow through that, then you get some decent convection, right? Get some decent lift. Another thing is on the right side, you can kind of see they look like little forks. Those are wind directions. So the winds are really picking up with height. You're talking 50, when you get to about, hi Stella, when you get to about 850 millibars, so about a kilometer up, you go from a 20 mile per hour wind downstairs to like a 45 mile per hour wind with some subtle shifting. It's not a significant turn, but it's a subtle shifting, right? And then by about, say, 3 kilometers up, you're getting into the 50 knot winds. So, you're starting to see some growing winds there, right? The good news is this is not like a setup for powerful Oklahoma type tornadoes, but it's we could see an isolated tornado. Barb's asking, so is this mainly a predictor for tornadoes? No, this is one of the products that we use to just look at the atmosphere, the column of air we're in. This is to look at everything. You use this, hi, sweet Stella. You use this to look at hail. How quickly from the cloud layer to the surface do things cross the freezing line, for example. You look at this to track you look at this to track snow. You look at this to track all kinds of things. This is just a very meteorological process. It's called a skew-T log P diagram if it's an actual balloon sounding. So tomorrow morning, we'll look at a balloon sounding and get an idea. What you're looking at here is model-based data. This is the NAM model, for example. Okay. Then you also can look at, give me a second, let me do this. So you can also slide it over and look at a hodograph to get an idea of kind of what direction if you're looking down at it. But this is kind of the main product here to look at. All right, so that's kind of where we're at in terms of there's nothing screaming at us, but there's definitely enough spin in the atmosphere there. Yeah, and then look at that. So this is going to be 21 Z. So this is going to be into the afternoon. You've got less like shear at the surface. There's some turn, not significant, but there's a jet streak. There's a pretty good amount of wind just above our head that we need to watch. And you can notice from late morning to early afternoon, notice that the column of air is somewhat saturated. We really bring up that saturation level significantly thereafter. But there's still enough dry air upstairs and still enough wind upstairs that we have to watch. So as this line moves through, it's definitely something that we're going to have to watch. And that is why. And then after this, as it's just fully saturated, and then starts to dry out, there's less and less of a concern. So that's why the Storm Prediction Center, in doing their due diligence, our partners at the National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center issued this level 1 out of 5 risk for isolated strong to severe storms in our area. Now, if we were to look at, what's interesting? So Jacksonville has the higher risk. So let's do this. Instead of KMCO, let's go Jax. And let's look at the timeline leading up to. Yeah. So notice, so this is Jacksonville. Just while we're talking, might as well. Let's go. Yeah. So you've got that saturated level, and then you've got the temperature inversion. You've got that super dry dew point level at about 825, 800 millibars. Goes super saturated, but notice the turn of the wind. So right as the moisture's coming in, you've got some shearing of the winds there, right? And with the shearing of the winds, the turning of the winds with height, that's where there's definitely more of a threat for tornadoes, I would say, up that direction, which is why that area north of us is highlighted in yellow. So they have a level 2 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms. We have a level 1 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms tomorrow. So anyway, that's long story long. That's why tomorrow is an impact day. For everybody that says things like, you're just doing this to scare us. No, we're not. We're doing our job to make sure you know. Yeah, we get rains every day during the summertime. Get it. We're not going to be issuing impact days every afternoon during the summertime because that's normal. But it's not just going to be showers. There's going to be the potential atmospherically for something to get a little feistier. So that's why we're here doing that. And that's why you'll see that on our 7-day forecast. Okay? Now, looking all the way ahead, we've got another storm system moving through on Sunday. Love that for us, right? So, Sunday also happens to be the API. Love that. Am I excited that we're not going to be talking about perfect weather for the final round of the API? No, I'm not. Unfortunately, the API is going to be running into some showers and some thunder showers. I hate that for us. So there you go. Thursday, good. Friday, good. Saturday, good. Sunday, not perfect. Not perfect. Terry's asking, is it the potential for a rough spring storm? This happens this time of year. This absolutely happens. There it is out. And we've had a really quiet spring, truth be told. Um, you know, so this. I don't want to say that this is long overdue, but it's somewhat overdue, right? So we definitely have to watch it. Chris, I'm on spring break in Polk County. Do you have the county by county breakdown for tomorrow? So we showed Futurecast. So for you, it looks like the severe the threat is really going to be a little further to your north. For Polk County, it's there. 1, 2 o'clock we're getting, but you could see it's, most of the energy will be further north of you there, Chris, okay? So at least you got that going for you. The Ghosted Woman on YouTube says, I can't remember a March in Florida where we didn't get a strong windy storm move through. Right. I mean, this is the way it goes. If you look at the calendar for the month of March, this is the way it goes. Right? Always. Always and forever. The only thing that Eric likes to hype is a cold front. I don't know about all that. I'm kind of over the cold fronts. Like I'm ready for pool weather. I don't have a pool body, but I'm ready for pool weather. Hey, if you're at my pool, you deserve to see the hair and the cellulite and the flab. I'll feed you. I'll give you drinks. You're just gonna have to can you deal with this? That's all. Oh man. So there you go. Diane says, spring? We haven't had any spring yet. Well, and every day until it happens, I'm going to be just throwing this out there, trying to get everyone emotionally ready for it. My wife this morning was like, wait a minute. This weekend, we're springing forward. It's like, yeah. So I'm trying to help everybody get there. This weekend, we spring forward. So get there. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Betty says this is the beginning of the Dixie tornado season. Might affect things above I-4 quite a bit. We'll have to watch. We'll have to watch. We'll have to watch. Tim says, can we get all the yucky weather out of the way this week? I'm coming to town next week. Trying. We're trying. Just for you. We're trying. Ay, 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 ay. Focus on bowling one more month. Hey, speaking of bowling, I've got that bowling thing I have to work on. I got to learn to bowl again. I've got that bowling thing over in Oviedo in a couple of weeks. I got to remember how to do that. The charity bowling event. Jeannie Rowan's asking, are we ever emotionally ready for anything, really? I'm just doing my part to try and help you. That's all. That's all. Look, I get it. I get it. I'm on your team, want to win. Oh, that's funny. Debbie says practice bowl. I'm gonna practice. I took my son bowling a couple of weeks ago. He loved it. So we'll work on it. We'll work on it. Yeah. All right. So already with the storms. Let's do this. Let me pop over here. I haven't even talked about this morning, so let's take a live look outside and just kind of get a lay of the land this morning. We can look elsewhere. Look how pretty that is. That's Tavares on our Tower Cam network. What else do we have here? We'll pop a couple up. Kennedy Space Center. Let's take a look out. Oh, kind of cool. Kind of cool shot. Port Canaveral. Yep. Some clear skies. One more. We'll go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. All right. Looks pretty. Looks pretty. Talia's asking, is Sunday evening a washout? So it's a little early to dial that in. We can look at long range together in a minute. I'll look at it in a minute. Remind me. Right now, nice and quiet on our radar. A couple showers well off the shoreline. That's not bothering us. Temperatures out the door in the 60s and even the 70s. For today, we'll have a few showers around, but the chance of showers definitely rising around sunset tonight. Okay, so there's that. Now let's look long range. For Sunday's rain. All right, there's Saturday in the park. It was the 4th of July. All right, so there you go. So Sunday, 3 p.m., starting to see the showers. And that's about as far out as our long-range futurecast. Of course, this is about as far as our long-range futurecast goes. But you can see there's some rains moving into the afternoon. So, yeah. We're almost to the point where we can start dialing that in. We're not quite there yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. So, questions, comments, concerns about our current predicament with these storms moving in tomorrow. Questions, comments, concerns, anything? Frank says the sky looked cool on the VAB shot. I thought so too. Yeah. The ghosted woman says, I just got back from Kennedy Space Center. Our troops slept under the Saturn V rocket. That's super cool. I love a good crawfish boil, but no one near me. I'll have to. Carbon Fiber says, oof, evening thunderstorms. Don't like that. Well, we're timing it out. We're working it out little bit by little bit. We're getting there. Hey, the forecast is, the forecast. Mother Nature does what Mother Nature does. Crystal says, do you use Tropical Tidbits for all your model data? No. I mean, that's a great resource, but no, I don't. I honestly don't use Tropical Tidbits for anything but like tropical data, recon data, just as a quick glance. Can you explain why the wind field is so large? I guess I don't know what you mean, Carbon Fiber YouTube. What do you mean? The wind field. Wind field on the Earth is essentially Earth's weather is Earth's attempt to balance high pressure filling low pressure, etc., etc., etc. So yeah. Carbon Fiber says I use Pivotal Weather. Yeah, for those sounding products that I was showing you all, this is if I were to zoom this camera's shot out, this is Pivotal Weather. This is a website that I use for these sounding products. So Pivotal Weather's great. It's free. Look, I'm always gonna share with you any resources I have, and I expect you to share resources with me too. And then, of course, at the end of the day, a main source is our weather computer. We have almost every piece of weather data you could want in our system. So there's that. Yeah. I heard they had severe weather in New Orleans and had to cancel some Mardi Gras parades. I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense if you look at the satellite and radar there right now. The storms are moving in. So to that point, let's come back over to our live radar. And what I want to do is instead of using our sweep, I just want to come over here and look at any kind of advisories. Now, I don't have any radars. There's only so much data that we can bring in for live radar data. So what I can do is I can dial in. That is a really ugly color table there. Okay. So what I can, instead of having live radars out of everywhere, this is the national composite, but at least it gives us an idea of kind of what's happening out there. So you can kind of see leaving Dallas, getting over to Shreveport and Texarkana. There are no tornado warnings currently, but there are severe thunderstorm warnings, right? And then more showers are kind of firing up to the south. So tornado watch posted. There you go. There's kind of the current lay of the land. Now, storm reports. Let's take a look at storm reports out that way. All right, so lots of wind reports there. It looks like there was a tornado report. I think if I do this, I think it'll just give me like the rundown if I do that. All right, so 22 reports just on the view. 3 hail, 7 thunderstorm wind damage, 11 thunderstorm wind gust, and 1 tornado report. The tornado report, multiple reports of significant damage around Ada, especially across southern part of town. Times estimated at this time. All right, so there you go. So anyway, so there are reports of at least one perhaps tornado, but those storms are ramping up, and today I think is going to be a feistier day. So again, when we look at this kind of overall setup, those storms eventually work our direction. Threat of severe weather definitely higher for them out west. Notice the goldenrod color there, the level 3 out of 5 risk for numerous strong to severe storms. Texas, Oklahoma, into Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and even the Florida Panhandle. And then by the time it moves to us, highest threat's going to be up around Jacksonville, but will eventually kind of sneak a little closer to us. All right, so that's kind of where we're at. All right. Terry's asking, when does the pollen season start? When our afternoon storms start? Honestly, that it's going to take that long. Do you just not like the blue? That was the color table we used when I was at WPBF in West Palm, and I hated it. I don't know. I like green. Blue is. I like blue's my favorite color, just not on radar. It is what it is. Oh Also need rain to catch up our drought just a bit. As far as the drought goes, I've seen a lot worse. I'm very happy with where we stand. Here's our Keach Byram Drought Index numbers. Um, we were so Lake County, at least for drought numbers, is our driest, sitting right in there. It was one tick higher in the bright yellows, so it's backed off a bit. So to be honest, I'm not saying we don't need the rain, because we do, but we're doing awful good. Now, in terms of numbers, 1, 2 inches behind. So yeah, we need the rain. We've got some opportunities for rain in the forecast, but we're doing pretty okay, all things considered. Nicole says I like the green. Yeah. So William is asking and Norma's asking about storm timing. So here's our storm timeline. Find where you live. Northwestern areas, including Dunellen, including Summerfield, we're looking at about 10 to 12. So it's going to be late morning for you in the metro where I live, 12 to 2. And then our southeastern areas, about 2 to 4. And this can be tweaked a little bit. We'll be watching this for sure, but this is your timeline for now. And I'll put this on a reel as well later today. All right, we've got our coffee talk, our extended half an hour chit chat together. But this afternoon with new model data, I'll do like a 30-40 second reel just so that everybody knows. Everybody's talking about it. Do you have your umbrella? Only the echoes of the rain. Boom ba dee doo ba doom ba dee. Everybody's talking. All right, so there's their next storm system. I tried to put it in the box in the bottom left corner. I don't know why. Like I had it set, but the data in the bottom left corner is old. I gotta figure that out. See, I even wrote tracking tomorrow's storms. Tomorrow's is. Did I like grammatically mess that up? I give Voltasmere. All right, there you go. How do they measure the Keach Byram soil moisture index, John? That's one of those Google it and get the full write up. I don't know. I would love to. I'd love to sit here and give you the expert thing, but I don't got it. I don't got it. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. That's all. What really is? I swear to God, it's just coffee. I swear. I swear. You could see the little dribble. That could be rum. It's not. Ah. Michael says a new country singer. Listen, the other day, what y'all missed was we were listening to music. It was Cam, Kellyanne, myself, and Marquise, and we were listening to music in the Weather Center, and Garth Brooks came on, and it turned into the most absurd sing along you've ever seen. We were all Marquise is in the corner like, I don't know this song. I don't know this music. Cam, Kellyanne, and I are, and it was we went to Dwight. We went country. I mean Dave Matthews is my favorite artist, but like 90s country is kind of my jam. So we were Clint Black in it. We threw some Alan Jackson in there. Y'all, we had a little hoedown in the Weather Center. It was so fun. To the point we were singing so loudly that Sheldon Dutez came in from the newsroom and he's like, "Sounds like a party in here. I just wanted to get in on the fun." So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Don says troll. I don't see the troll, so I must have already blocked him on my screen. I apologize. Just report him is all I could tell you. I don't see it, so I can't do anything about it. Apologies. You know you've made it when you've got a troll. So, all right. Anyway, we'll probably be singing something today. I don't know what. Chris is asking, going out on a charter fishing boat from Clearwater on Saturday. The rain chance should be low, correct? So Saturday, there's going to be a few showers here. Let's do this. That's GFS. Let's go to All right, so let's do states. Florida. So there's the storm system coming through tomorrow. So you're talking about Saturday. So, I mean, here's Saturday. Yeah, I mean, that's Saturday at 4 p.m. So, for the most part, we're good. It's going to be into Sunday that we're watching that next storm system come through. So, hopefully you'll be pretty okay. Yeah. William, I answered that when you asked the seventh time I answered that. I got you. I got you. Rashida, thank you, my dear. Mwah, thank you for hanging with us. All right, questions, comments, concerns. I've got to make a gabagool before I go to work today. I've got to make some homemade pomodoro sauce for the family. So I need to get started on that before I go to work. But anyway, yeah. So for tomorrow, one last note. We have impact weather. Oh my God, he's hyping it, or he's just letting us know the weather's going to get a little nasty tomorrow. Okay, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Showers, thunder showers potentially. It's a storm system that's kind of growing as we speak out over Texas. We looked closely. There were severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. There is a tornado watch in effect out that direction. And in terms of timeline, find your location. There's the timeline. North and west of town, 10 a.m. to noonish. Lunchtime around the metro area, and south and east over to the Space Coast, 2 to 4 p.m. Okay? Sound good? Sound good. All right, listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. We will be together tomorrow morning for it, all right?